Hello. I want to talk about how now I see where this is why I say I never had a problem with the Bible. I always had a problem with the way it's been interpreted. I have a problem with the way forgiveness has been interpreted. And when it said now the new one is love your enemies. Now I completely get what that means dealing with everything I dealt with for the last 2 years. I told you what forgiveness means. The way people interpret it is as if you put in all of your attention on what somebody else did to you. You don't know who that person is. In this simulation, this is a simulation. You don't know who is behind that avatar. Some people, some of what you're looking at are just merely programmed into they could be implants. You don't know who's doing what. You don't know who's fake and who's not. You don't know who's using, because right now, to be honest with you, entities use everybody to exist in this type of reality. Entities is using people's consciousness for them to even using people's energy in their life force to even exist. Okay, so what are you forgiving? It's not for somebody else, but the way it is, society has taught it is as if forgiveness is meant for somebody else. Forgiveness is releasing everything that keeps you heavy. And a lot of stuff that you are forgiven could come from a previous incarnation, previous lifetime. It can come from other doggone timelines that you're not even aware of. Like when you dream, to me, my theory is when you dream and you go into different, you know it's you, but you have a different name, you might look different, you know. You have you have shadows in all those different timelines because you having different experiences in all those timelines. So while you're trying to clear up something that's happening as far as you are aware of, you have shadows that you're not even aware of because you're only living one life that you're aware of, where your conscious awareness is. This is a life you feel like you're living. You don't just have one life. You have multiple timelines. You probably have thousands of lives that you don't know you have until you start dreaming or whatever you do. You have thousands of lives. You don't just have one. So you have shadows in every last one of them. So you can't just, let me do shadow work. You can't just do shadow work for whatever you went through in this conscious awareness life that you're aware of. You got to do it for all of them. Okay? And that's what I'm talking about. So the forgiveness is releasing everything that you can't be thinking about who you're going to forgive. You don't know enough. You're not aware of enough. So to think about somebody else is absurd. It don't make sense. Now I want to talk about forgiving your enemies. It makes perfect sense now. I was telling somebody else, like somebody was talking about, he's a teacher, and he was talking about how you love your pain, learn to love your pain. I said, you know what? And this was last Saturday. I was talking about, because, Saturday before last. I was talking about, because I started to say I love my shadow. Like, I love my shadow. I love my shadow. I told you the issues I've had with this AI, COVID. COVID for me is an AI. It's not whatever they testing for in your nose. For me, it's an AI. Okay, it's artificial intelligence that have took over a lot of people that don't realize they might have been taken over because it's an AI. They're intelligence. They're a sentient being, and you can't outthink it because they know what you're thinking before you think it. Okay? So anyway, that's what I've been, my 2-year struggle. But it's been forcing me to do a lot of shadow work, and that's good. But I've learned so much more that I would not have ever learned. Even though I've been tortured, I've learned to love it. So I say, I love you, COVID. I love you, whatever, coronavirus. Just say I love it. Because I consider those my enemies. And when I said a couple of Saturdays ago to this person who was training a certain class, I said that, I started telling my shadow I love it. And every time I say my shadow I love it, it kind of, the things dissipate. The things that like keep me low, like low vibrational kind of stuff, it starts to dissipate. Because you can't think of everything. You can't sit there and think of everything out your mind that you can barely remember what you did yesterday. You can barely remember what you had on yesterday. You can't be thinking out your mind, let me do this and that. No. You ain't never going to get shit done like that. You trying to remember when you can barely remember the last person you spoke to yesterday. You ain't ever going to, if you think you're going to think of somebody you're supposed to be, no, it ain't ever going to work. So basically, forgiveness like that is like releasing all that stuff. You can't be thinking about stuff. Just release it. But also the forgiveness of your enemies. When I start saying, not forgiveness, excuse me, love your enemies, not forgive. Love is different than an emotion. So when you trying to have some emotion for some shit, it don't ever work out. That's what I don't like about this society. That's what I don't like about Christianity. They teach stuff in the wrong way to me. They teach stuff in the wrong way. That's why I don't like it. People are like, oh, you've been hurt. No, they can't teach worth a damn. They don't know what they're talking about. They ain't experienced. They read the Bible and they take whatever they can read at face value. They don't go deep into the occult. And a lot of occultists don't even interpret it the way my spirit is showing me to see it. So even some occultists, I can't even look at the way they say things because the way they interpret it is not the way my spirit even showing me. Because a lot of occultists don't believe in forgiveness because they still, some of them, not all, some of them still think it's about a different person. You got to think of somebody you forgiven. That ain't gonna do with it. How you do that when you have multiple timelines where you don't even know what kind of life, you're not even consciously aware of your life in about thousands of different timelines where you still have a shadow in those timelines. You can't think to who forgive over there, so it's not about no person. That can't be. That can't be. Okay? But also love your enemies. When I start saying I love my shadow, I love it, it's like they can no longer hurt me. When you love your enemies, you loving your enemies, once again, it's not about a particular person because whoever who seem like attacking you could be a part of your shadow. They could be a part of your shadow, things that you're not aware of, unconscious things. That's all part of the subconscious. That's all part of what's going on. Even if like they came to me out the blue, people say, well, be careful what you think because you draw it. It ain't about you thinking off your conscious mind. There's a lot of stuff in your subconscious that you ain't aware of. And sometimes you got to be careful being around other people. That's why I don't like working in public places. I don't want to be around friends. I don't want nobody, because whatever in their subconscious connects to you when you might not be thinking about stuff like, why I'm thinking about some crazy stuff? Because they connecting to you, whatever they thinking about seeping over into your subconscious, so you be working forever. Okay? But, love your enemies. To say I love my shadow, I say I love COVID, I love, whatever. It ain't about, I don't call no particular person. It's not about a particular person. I don't want to ever think about a particular person because you can't think about everybody in every timeline, in every different reality, every different life that you've lived, like previous lives. You can't think of everybody like that. So even when you say you love your enemies, you can't think about nobody. It's too many motherfuckers to think about. It's not about a person. Christianity keep making it seem like it's about a person. That's why I do not like Christianity, because they do not teach right. They don't teach from the spirit because the spirit don't teach like that. So that's why I don't like Christianity. They so religious, but they have very little information. They don't know the truth. That's what I don't like about them. When I started saying I love you, without that physical 3D emotion that people keep thinking they talking about, it ain't about no doggone emotion. That's that 3D mess right there. It's not about an emotion. I say I love you to these entities or whatever, even to whatever attachments I might have, whatever the demon might come after me. I say I love you. They can no longer hurt you. They have to back off. They're supposed to be your adversary, but when you love your enemies, they can no longer be your adversary. Interesting. That's some shadow work for your ass. Love my enemies every night. I love my enemies, and do not think about no 3D dumb love like you've been taught in this society, because this society is a whole lie. Everything is a lie. Everything is fake news. Don't think about nothing you learned in this damn world. Everything's fake news. Your chakras are fake news. Your chakras are fake news. But anyway, because everything is, when I saw the correct order, it's not the way people been taught, and that's why I don't even like going to that type of training with the chakras, as I have to learn shit wrong. No, it's a different order, and they're not called chakra. It's in a different order. They've been misarranged for the 3D shit. But it's a different order when you're in a higher timeline, where I came from. That's not that's not the way my energy centers look. But anyway, that's it. I don't want to go too long. I just want to say that, and I will talk to you later.